This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me, I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
Top of the morning to you, lads and lasses. A very happy St. Paddy's Day to all involved. We're here rocking the green, getting ready to catch you guys up on all the news and notes of what's been going on this week. As always, I'm joined by the crew. I can't possibly go through them all as we do every single day, so I'm just going to cut right to my co-host, Christian Soto.
You ready to go down to the strip, look up at some baddies on St. Paddy's?
Have you spent any time on the strip on St. Paddy's Day? I know you've only been in Vegas a couple years.
No, I haven't.
All right, so I've been here since 2008. LaManna moved out here with me. He can attest to this. We used to just go for it on most holidays, St. Paddy's being one of them. I was actually looking through like our group chat today. There was a photo of like a bunch of us at a blackjack table with Brent standing behind it, just dead behind the eyes. I mean, he was standing upright but not conscious.
The guy who went the hardest out of our friend group had to be Dan O'Brien, and rightfully so.
He loves St. Paddy's Day.
Well, he's Irish.
No, but he loves St. Paddy's Day, man. I've never seen anything like that. I'm like, whoa, like he's like dressed up. Like I saw him get up. He was like, boom, today is my day.
In another world,
there's two things he likes. It's like, is it Burning Man? No, EDC. He likes EDC and St. Paddy's Day.
Yeah, I don't have the heart to tell him that he's too old for EDC. He gets so pumped up for it every single year.
His hair was purple and gray.
Yeah, he doesn't fuck around. He definitely comes to party whenever it comes to these holidays. Funny story, the last time I was on the strip for St. Patrick's Day, I was actually wearing this t-shirt. It's now been adorned my St. Paddy's Day attire. And I was meeting Danielle and my friend Nicole at the time, O'Shea's.
Okay.
So, have you ever been to O'Shea's?
Yeah, I know what it is.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I literally showed
Well,
up.
I think the new one is better, right? It's cleaner.
It's
the original old one, that was where all the college kids went to go party on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, that's probably true. It was just the only, like when you're playing public beer pong.
Yeah,
in a
exactly.
disgusting
We
area.
called it hepatitis pong.
Yeah, rightfully so.
God damn.
So I parked it.
Happy pong?
What is a O'Shea's attached to? Flamingo?
Harris, maybe?
Harris, maybe? Yeah, I think maybe Harris.
It's in between both.
It's in the link right now. Now it's part of the link. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But at the time, I think it was attached to Harris. So I parked in a Harris parking lot, and I'm walking through the casino to get there. Mm-hmm. And I don't even think twice. I don't, honestly, I wouldn't have even remembered what this said. It's just a graphic tee that I got from Scotch and Soda. So it's just like, I just like it. I don't even know what it says. But I'm walking, and this like younger.
I already know where this is going, dude. Like, this is nuts. Like, now I see it.
This younger dude, he's probably like 22, 23. He just like stops me and he goes, "Speaking ain't the only thing that's easy."
Wow.
And I'm like, all right, I still fucking got it. Let's go, baby.
That's strong.
St. Paddy's Day is here.
That's wild.
Yeah, that was my most recent. That was the last time that I think I've done anything.
But what was he trying to say though?
He's trying to smash, man.
You know why though, right?
Why?
Bro, I don't know if this is YouTube, but that kind of looks like a glory hole, dude.
Yeah, I guess everybody thinks. Somebody else said earlier today that it looked like a dick, and I go, oh, that kind of makes sense too.
It looks like where you put a dick sometimes in the speakeasy.
Yeah, all right. Maybe this isn't my new St. Paddy's Day shirt. I might time to upgrade.
Retire that.
I'm just saying, I was trying to see where he was going.
No, look, I was just flattered. You know, I'm happy to be a desirable human, whether it be to men or females.
I mean,
whatever
I'm sure,
the case may be.
We'll see about that later.
It's a pat on the back. So I was doing a little St. Paddy's Day research today, and I come to find out that a lot of us are from a region where St. Paddy's Day is fucking huge.
I mean, it makes sense. Like we're all like relatively close to Boston. Like I think when people think about Irish people, they seem to relate it to Boston.
That's what I thought too. Mainly because of Dropkick Murphys' song "Shipping Up to Boston." It's like kind of an Irish ode, so to speak. And I'm just like, yeah, like that with like the Red Sox, they always do the St. Patty's logo with the 4-leaf clover or whatever. So I'm just like, yeah, Boston's for sure definitely one of the top cities, no doubt about it.
St. Patty destinations.
Yeah, right. And growing up, Pittsburgh was always massive. I never partook, but like my best friend, her family went every single year. And the irony was they were an Italian family. Like I never understood it, but I guess that, like actually knowing her dad, he just liked getting drunk.
Well, it's also
So, like,
the Irish Italian, the Catholic.
Yeah,
You know,
there is that bond.
that
Dude.
Northeast Irish Italian Catholic bond.
That's true.
St. Patrick was Italian.
Oh, here we go.
My dad
Th-
owned a
from the 5 minutes of research that I did. Well, this is big in the
Hood lawyer number 2.
weird.
Yeah.
This is big in the Italian
This is
American.
the
The research corner over here.
Yeah. 5 minutes of research. His parents were Roman, which would also make him of Roman descent, and they were like Roman diplomats. And I guess he was born in what is now Britain, but at the time it was occupied by the Romans. So, as far as I'm concerned,
Sun doesn't
You know.
set on the Roman Empire.
yeah. I mean, comment in the section, and,
Yeah, who else was
and
Italian?
tell us what you think. But I
You know
think
who else
he was
was
Italian.
Italian?
Me.
Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
You win some, you lose some.
the Italians will not let that one go. They maybe should let that one go.
Yeah. Maybe you should like just say, yeah, I think he's Spanish.
Yeah.
No, we don't claim him.
He just worked for you.
Listen, let's not talk about Christopher. The strange part about Christopher Columbus is like people, like we have like a shrine of like Christopher Columbus. We're like, dude, like
Well,
not normal.
it's kind of like shifted away. It's like the Joe Pa statue, you know? They're
Yeah.
just like, maybe we should like tear this one down.
No, it's a huge building that sets like,
Oh, you're saying in the DR?
yeah, like it's as big as like Bellagio, and it just shines across all like in the air. It's like a cross, right? Like the Jesus cross into the light. The whole city can see it.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's the Christopher Columbus that like building.
Yeah. Well, you're Spanish thanks to him, so, I mean, there's that.
St. Patty's is fun, dude.
Hey, I just want to point out real quick, it was never established that Conrad was the Hood Lawyer 1 because the beta version of this show never came out.
That's true.
So you sound really racist right now.
I am not racist.
It's all love.
So anyway, back to my
We'll do a
research
behind the scenes one day.
on the best party destinations for St. Patty's Day. I was shocked. I thought Boston or Chicago would be one.
Yeah,
In my head, they're most known for St. Patrick's.
Right, I had Chicago because
Right.
of the river.
Chicago not even in the top 3. Chicago
That's
was number
wild.
4. San Fran 5. New York not in the top 10.
I can see New
11.
York. New York is just like not.
Yeah,
I've been there. It's
just so
Okay,
big.
wait,
but
but
like
is-
Chicago has the Green River, so like I instantly would put them like 1 or 2.
For sure.
They were 4.
Yeah.
You
agreed.
want to know what city was above them?
Please enlighten us.
Fucking Pittsburgh, baby, number 3.
That's right.
Oh God.
We do everything right.
That's right.
Almost
We,
right.
So we were 3. Boston was actually number 2.
I could see that.
So the number 1 to me was very surprising.
All right.
But it's actually Melissa's
Because you guys are all haters.
of Philadelphia.
If it's a trashy holiday, of course it's gonna be the best trashy city in the U.S. Philadelphia.
Just an excuse to drink all day.
Yeah, there's like Patty's
of.
Pub.
So, to some, I guess you can enlighten me a little bit. So, from my perspective, like it wasn't surprising to see Pittsburgh in the top 3. In like in the area we grew up, we're known as the land of bars and churches. So, I mean, what goes more hand in hand with St. Patrick's Day than bars and churches?
Right.
I would assume then that Philly is probably pretty similar in their culture.
Yeah, I mean they just love to drink. Like
Sure.
there's
Did you
so
ever
many.
partake in the festivities of St. Patrick's Day when you were in Philly?
Not really. No, my brother did. He definitely did a lot of bar crawls where they would go to like.
Did you know,
18
like, you
bars
knew it
and-
was like a really big thing in Philadelphia? Like, is that? like-
Yeah, well, there's like parades. Philly,
Yeah,
they do
the
a lot
same
of
with Pittsburgh.
drinking
Pittsburgh
parades.
has this huge
they just
parade,
love to drink and watch stuff and
Yeah.
walk around the street like.
It's a
falling over.
Pennsylvania thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little. Well, I highly doubt Scranton is kicking it off
You
today.
kidding me?
Or Harrisburg.
Dwight and Michael Scott.
I
they were
used to
just
party in Scranton.
killing it.
Yeah.
They have festivals.
barns?
Camp Bisco is at Magic Mountain in Scranton.
Would any of you ever make a trip for like a holiday like that? Like, would you go to Chicago for St. Patty's, like to experience?
Personally, no shot.
It's too cold right now there.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. All of the cities that are in the top 10 are all cold weather cities.
They have to get drunk to stand it.
I would go to New Orleans for Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
No, but that's
I went to
I
New
love
Orleans.
that's not a
New Orleans.
holiday.
I mean,
What?
it is sort of.
It's a hood
just not a
holiday.
national
It's a
holiday.
hood
It's
holiday.
like a local holiday. Yeah.
Yeah. I went to New Orleans. I've only been once. I went for a bachelor party. It was the week before Mardi Gras. You would have thought it was Mardi Gras.
Yeah, I'm
This
sure.
place-
I'm sure they get started pretty early.
It's
This place
like that all
was
the time.
insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like elbow to asshole on the street. Like you
Elbow to
couldn't
asshole?
move.
I loved that. I went there. Like I loved it. I mean, I don't know if I love it as much now. Like I was still drinking then, but you
Yeah.
could just walk around on the street drinking, and you stop by every bar and get drunk and like.
Let me
Just
ask you this:
open
what
containers.
times did you call it a night?
I ended up at
I ended up as
I ended
awesome.
up at a I ended up on the top bunk at a hostel of this small British man's bed,
This
and
sounds
below
nuts.
us, his roommate was vomiting.
Okay, but like
It
time
was
frame.
about 6 a.m.
That's the
okay,
part
so wait.
you care about. Like,
yeah,
there
no,
was so
I
many
care for a
things.
reason. I care for a reason. So like, you were out basically like
All
the hours.
night.
Okay, do you remember the stench?
No.
Okay, they literally put their garbage out. Like as the bars close, they all just put their garbage out on the street. So like just bags of trash for
Everyone's
for like
hammered
a
by
mile.
then. They don't care. But
yeah, you're blacked
the
out.
best
It
is
smelled like death.
there's a guy, this gumbo guy, who has this truck, and in the back there's a cooler full of gumbo in little cups that he sells to all the drunk people coming out from the bar. Like the best gumbo ever. I don't know, is maybe, but to me it was.
Well, that
I was
time, of course.
hammered, so it
tastes so
was
good
really
when you're
good.
drunk. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I my story was fun. So I went there for my college catcher's bachelor party, and he's also Irish, very tiny man, like 5'2", and just always getting into trouble. So he's blacked out by 8 p.m. and we end up at Little Darling Strip Club. And for me, like strip clubs are like not fun because like I don't know.
Because you go to the glory holes.
What are you talking about? That would be way better. That's what I'm saying. No, but like
Depends who's on the other end.
no, it's just like not fun to get female attention that you know has an underlying motive.
And
Of
you're
course,
not
of
drinking.
course.
You're not
Right,
drinking.
I'm not drinking.
Like,
So
Not
it's like,
drinking. You're
I'm not trying to
being
pay.
sober in the strip club.
I'm just like not interested in paying for female attention. That just like doesn't really do anything for me. So I'm kind of just like chilling. We have a table. I'm like laying out in or like hanging out in the back. And you know, Laman has been to strip clubs with me before. We're very different. he walks in and he has neon dollar signs on his head. They're just like, can I get you this? Can I get you this? Can I get you this? And he looks around. He's like, what am I gonna do? Say no?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that is fair. It was a long time ago.
Had
But
those
like,
glasses then too.
I'm very much the opposite.
Yeah,
like,
that was back. That was back in these
Were you
days.
wearing those?
This little man.
Yeah.
got down
Those
to
will definitely put a target on you at the strip club.
that man was getting down to business.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, mom and dad.
All right, I have to tell this one first. I'm sorry. We used to go to the strip clubs in Canada a lot whenever we were coming up because we were an hour and a half drive from Niagara Falls. So we would play on like the Seneca Niagara side in the American, or even sometimes Fallsview on the Canadian side, and then we'd head to Sundowners, which was like the big strip club there.
Oh, I've heard this.
And Lamanna, one time we walked in, and he just gets bombarded by these women when he walks in the door. And he's just like, you're all gorgeous. Like, wherever you want to take me, I'm fucking in. So they take us to like this side table next to the main stage. And they're just literally like asking, but not asking if we want them to do stuff. And I'm like, just totally uninterested. It's like, whatever, man. Like, I'm just here for the ride. And Laman's just like sitting there staring at him straight up in the air. And they're just like, okay, so like there's two of us. And Sundown is like raunchy, like fully unclothed. The girls just like go at it with one another. And they're just like continuing through their act. And he's just looking around. He's like, I'm not going to tell him no, baby. We're here all night.
That's how I am at a strip club.
Throwing
You gotta
loonies
get
and
into
toonies
it.
at them, where it's like pegging them with these metal coins.
Oh my god.
I think that was
Wow.
embellished a little bit.
I gotta go
Of
out
course,
with Brian.
creative
We
license.
gotta go out
Yeah,
with Brian.
that's you sound like fun
Yeah,
at
like
a strip
what's
club.
up?
Oh,
You need a time machine.
No, we don't
Yeah.
need no
Go
time
back
machine.
to,
Today's
like,
St. Patty's. Let's
15
bring it
years
up.
ago.
No, honestly, like young Lamanna he was fun.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brian.
Now
we
he's
all
the
saw the
manager.
photo.
He's toned it
Right.
down.
It's just
Exactly.
like, oh man, where's that Brian?
I'm sorry, mom and dad.
Don't be. Chico would be proud. So going full circle now to this New Orleans trip, I'm just like hanging out in the back. All these guys from my baseball team, they're like kind of at the stage and they're coming back and forth. And of course, like the girls are coming to our table trying to like get us to get lap dances and stuff like that. I'm not really interested. So my strategy is always, I'm going to talk to these girls and see
You're gonna
like
save them?
No. I have no interest in that. But like, I'm basically just gonna chat them up, and once they realize I'm a dead end, they'll leave. You know. So I'm chatting this one girl up, and she's just not leaving. And the guys at the table are kind of like, you know, like encouraging her to stay longer and stuff like that. So eventually, we talk her into just like quitting her shift for the night and hanging out with us.
I told you he was gonna save him. I told you, there it is.
He's got that
So-
savior complex there.
No, I'm not trying to save her. What are you talking about? We're costing her money. She just decided we were more important to hang out with than working that night. So her and a couple of her friends
pretty
end
common
up
story.
just like taking the night off and following us around all night long as a bachelor party. We all ended up like passed out in a hotel room together. I don't know what may have happened with the other guys. You know, I don't ask any questions.
The other
or-
guys.
Well,
This
they're
is the
married men. I had
perfect
nothing-
shirt for you today.
The other guy. He's just shirking it all onto them. Meanwhile, he's the one who was talking to them. I was talking her up, but I wanted her to leave. I swear. I swear.
then I was
I
like,
didn't
she
want
came
her
with
to
us.
leave. I didn't want her to leave. I just didn't want to pay for anything, and I wanted her to be very well aware of that. But
You
yeah,
wanted
I
to
was
save her.
I was wingman. What are
I
you
can
talking
save
about?
her.
I didn't save her from
Saved
anything.
her, bro. He saved her.
I probably cost her. She ended up with.
The glory hole shirt.
Emotionally. You
Yeah,
were
yeah,
you were
emotionally,
providing
she was-
that
Landon, do you have
maternal-
anything to add?
My dad owned an Irish bar, so for St. Patrick's Day, I would go there
How
sometimes.
fucking
Was it an Irish Steelers bar?
It was an Irish pub. It was actually called Murphy's downtown.
And it was the Steelers bar also.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. The Roonies are Irish, so
Yeah.
you know we do have some heritage
how
there.
rich?
yeah. Bro, the bar is gone. There's no more money anymore.
But as for
There's
money,
never-
we have none.
Yeah, but yeah. So sometimes I would go there, not for St. Patrick's Day because it was kind of crazy, but the bar definitely had the environment of an Irish pub, to say the least. They had really good
I
chicken
fucking
fingers.
Guinness
love
was
Irish
flowing.
people.
A lot of Guinness.
There
I
was a- there
love
was-
Irish people.
All right,
I remember there was beer on draft, and that was like the one that I remember the most. Is like it has like pictures of different alcohol on it, and like you use the lever. That's the one I remember.
The Guinness
Yeah.
logo.
Because it has the
So
little style
where
and
would
takes-
if you had to pick a place to go in Vegas tonight, where would you go?
So tonight's special because St. Patty's is falling on opening day of March Madness, and Vegas is the
It's
fucking
lit.
spot
It's
for
insane.
March Madness. And on top of that, you know, it's already a party city. We're leaning into the weekend.
Right.
I imagine the strip is just going to be out of this
What's
world.
the like
Poker has
Irish
to be
pub of
so good.
Vegas? Is there one? Like
Yeah, no, there definitely is. Oh fuck, what's the name of it? There are a couple Irish spots on the strip. Isn't there one in Planet Hollywood?
Nine Fine Irishmen is at New York, New York.
Yeah. Yeah, we went there for Skippy's.
McMullen's is off the strip. It's by Orleans. It's like a
McFadden.
Oh, there's another.
McFadden.
Yeah, McFadden's and
Oh.
McMullen's. They're both
McFadden's, yeah.
in Town Square too, I think.
A lot of mix.
But you don't want to be in Town Square tonight or Town Center, whatever. You want to be on the strip.
Yeah, you want to be on the strip for sure, for sure.
Playing poker.
Especially as a poker player, like that's the other. So that was kind of like what I was going to lead into.
So good. Dude.
Forget about like partying. If this is your career, the next like first of all the next 2 weeks
probably
are going to
go
be
play cash.
We said it's next 2 weeks.
Yeah, but like this particular 3 or 4 day stretch with St. Patty's Day also, like if you're playing mid stakes no limit hold'em, get the fuck to the strip right now.
Yeah.
What are you doing listening to us? There's money in these streets, baby. There's gold out there. The end of the rainbow.
Chin's out.
The end of the rainbow is at the Wynn and the Bellagio, man.
Yeah,
Like, let's
Christian's
go.
just gone.
It really is. He's telling me to leave. no, but the games are good. The games are
Yeah, the games are fire.
insane.
There's always guaranteed to be at least one drunk guy who's gonna spice things up a lot.
Yeah. Oh, I played with who's the guy that he played Superman? Dean something.
Dean
Cain?
Cain?
Dean Cain. I played with Dean Cain yesterday. He was on my left.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I bet he was a nit.
Nah, he wasn't an A.
Really?
He was drunk.
Oh, okay.
He was
I would have thought he was like super tight for something.
Yeah, I was like, you're famous. He's like, haha. And then I was like, nah, you famous though. And then like eventually he was like, yeah, I'm Dean Cain.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. I play with Superman. Like, all right, cool.
That's pretty cool.
All right, so they go on the strip for March Madness, and then
Well, if they're lucky and they land on the strip, they'll find 6 hotties like what we have set up here for today.
oh,
So we were going to introduce a new segment today.
I heard rumblings of this segment. I don't know what we're getting into, but
I don't either. All I know is it's Melissa's idea. She's sexualizing us, which
Mm-hmm.
is, absolutely uncalled for.
And
But
encouraged.
it's also like I'm sexualizing you guys to each other. And so it's a very
What?
nice
Oh,
twisted
no.
thing. So I've turned
this
them.
shirt has turned everything.
Yep.
that we
St.
know.
Patty's special. I've turned everyone into women. And I've only shared the photos with Andre. So no one has seen their female selves. And everyone is going to rate, smash, or pass on their female versions.
Of
Before we
themselves?
actually see them, can I just give what I think my rank order
Yeah.
will be? I'm pretty confident that Andre will be the prettiest
Andre is
woman.
100% your type. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Your
He's,
type.
he's not my type. Let's get this clear.
Andre's
He's too
everybody's
mouthy.
type.
I do want to mention,
Wow.
me and Melissa had this exact conversation that you're gonna fall in love with.
Yeah, we were like, oh my God, I'm scared.
Yeah, of
Berkey's
course,
gonna
because
fall in
you're an
love with
effeminate
Andre.
man.
Because he's Asian.
You just transitioned very well into the female role. I think he'll be prettiest. I think Conrad will be second. I think Christian will land somewhere in the middle. And
Don't put my freaking photo up there.
I would
Chins is really good.
and I would imagine I think Landon will probably make a better female than Brian or I. Brian and I are definitely gonna pull up the rear.
That's my
Yeah.
exact
I think
thought.
Brian and I will
we're at the
definitely pull up
bottom.
the
You
rear.
look
Sure.
like a woman that would bully me.
Good. You know what that means? That means I'm goddamn masculine. Let's fucking go. Roll the tape. Roll the
Who
tape.
do you want to start with, Melissa?
Let's start with. I think we'll do Chin last.
Oh man.
Let's start with Conrad.
Chin does got them lips.
I'm not. Why are you looking at my lips, bro? Jesus Christ.
The lips are looking good in the photo.
Ready?
All right.
Okay.
Cleopatra.
What is this headband you got there, Conrad?
Lisa Left Eye.
I'm a little concerned at the broadness of your shoulders.
Yeah, the shoulders are.
Yeah.
Lisa Left Eye.
Yeah, like if I saw that on Hinge, I would just be like, okay, where's the "Are you open-minded" in the description?
Well, I think we're all gonna look a little masculine, right?
I'm gonna pass.
I don't-
I'm gonna pass. I'm
I-
not smashing.
I would swipe right. I would probably swipe right, and then once I realized I was being duped, very quickly unmatch.
Like that's the type of girl who's gonna like hit you.
Yeah, for sure.
like throw a plate at you. Or
The Amazonian style, if you will.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. What's next?
Let's do Brian.
All right.
Wow.
Right?
The man is a smoke show.
Not as bad as I
You
thought it would
look
be.
like my 5th grade teacher.
Lamanna, you are exactly what I'm looking for.
So what is going on?
Why do I look so wholesome?
No, Amanda looks like a guidance counselor.
That's what I'm saying. She looks like a guidance counselor.
Look at those cheeks. Look at
Berkey,
those
what is
cheeks and
wrong
those
with you?
eyes. This woman is
in love.
gorgeous.
Pass. Hard pass.
Hard smash.
You like.
I would marry that girl.
Yeah, no, that's
have-
a wife. That's a wife.
Listen.
That's a perfect 7.5.
You have
If I
some
was born a girl,
Freudian
we might have
things. Like
You're goddamn right.
you have some Freudian things. That is a school teacher.
Yeah.
So what? What's
You
wrong
like
with
your
school
school
teacher?
Hot for teacher.
What's wrong with a school teacher? You think that I wouldn't be happy to date a school
You
teacher?
think we're trying
right
to
now?
go down to
No,
St.
he
Patty's to
looks
look
like
for the school
a-
teachers right now?
Like I would choose her as a therapist.
Yes.
Like very kind.
Very
you know?
wholesome
This
Lamanna,
woman
very
told
girl
me
next
what I
door.
should major in college.
Yeah.
Listen, very girl next door, very wholesome. The hair is
He's
gorgeous.
getting,
Yeah, that's nice
he's
hair.
getting a boner
Cheekbones?
thinking
Man,
about
I wish
it.
I had hair like that.
I mean, imagine if he accented those cheekbones a little
Man,
bit.
you're
Like,
only gonna see him as a female
Yeah.
from now on.
honestly, I think that looks exactly zero like Lamanna.
No, it does
little
look like,
bit,
It does
a
look
little
like
bit.
Lamanna though, a little bit.
I don't see it at all.
I see it. It's like Lamanna's.
And honestly, like he has some hot cousins, so I'm not really shocked.
Wow, he just goes after
He
your
knows
cousins,
he has hot
bro?
cousins.
I wish he said some shit like that about my family. I'll fucking slap the shit out of him.
We need another
think-
segment.
I think let's do Andre next.
All right, calm down, Berkey, please.
He's
Andre's scared. He's very scared.
I'm waiting for this one.
Okay,
right.
very
Andre,
exotic.
Very nice.
The mouth does look a little bit too much like Andre. It's freaking
Yeah.
me out.
Yeah. That's like.
Look,
But
he's
like-
even wearing
eyes
that
too.
today.
That's Andre's eyes.
He's wearing the shirt. Yeah.
If this woman were wearing a mask, a COVID mask, I would be 100% duped.
That's
So you like his eyes then? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, he has pretty eyes. The hair is very
She.
nice, long, healthy, flowing.
She.
Well, yeah, she. Yeah, I guess. I'm not really
the
sure.
photo.
Yeah.
The photo,
The photo.
the
looked
morphing
nice.
of Andre. Not as hot as I expected, Andre.
Oh
Sorry.
wow!
Oh.
Wow.
You're still choosing me over Andre.
I mean,
100%.
it's following his.
I mean, if
the
we were
love of
playing
his
marry,
life.
fuck, kill,
Yeah.
I would marry your version of the female, and I would fuck Andre, and I would kill Conrad.
Absolutely.
Before Conrad kills you. We can do Landon. And we'll end with Chin and Berkey.
I can't wait to run down my ratings.
Landon's next. Oh man.
Oh my God!
This lady was serving me yesterday. she was a waitress.
I don't really see a difference between the
No, this is literally landed in drag.
No, I got done dirty in this picture.
Why didn't you change it? Didn't you?
Landon,
You
you
have to use a filter?
No, this
Why didn't you use a filter? Why did you just grab a photo of Landon?
No, I ain't gonna lie. I deserve this.
They didn't even add.
deserve
They
this.
didn't even add hair. The hair's the
She
same.
literally just put makeup on it.
Put it back. Please put it back.
I deserve this.
Put it back
We're even.
I don't want to sell for wide sweater.
That is a sultry look, though. Look at
Right?
those lips.
Look
They're
at those
so pouty.
eyes. It's like seductive.
I deserve this.
Those are real bedroom eyes,
What is
Landon. I gotta tell
But
you.
it still has a little bit of a pencil mustache.
Oh man, that was incredible. That was awesome.
Okay.
I think Melissa's the only one who would smash
Oh
there.
man.
Yeah, I mean that was a nice lady.
That's a no for me.
Let's
dog.
do
Yeah, I'm gonna
Berkey
pass.
and we'll end
Hard,
with
hard
Chin.
though. Hard.
Yeah, that's a
though.
hard pass, Landon. Sorry,
That was
bud.
awesome though.
We're even.
Almost.
No, we're even. That was brutal.
It wasn't me. That was the filter. I use the same filter on everyone.
Man.
Why do I not believe that?
I don't know, but I'm dreading mine.
Yeah, yours is coming. It's
Oh
gonna be,
man, that was good. That was good.
It's
Oh
like
man.
kind of like the Whole Foods bully.
Mine's most likely to have armpit hair.
Look at the headband.
man. I like
the
hair going too.
No, it's my hat. She turned my hat into hair.
Incredible.
I mean, I look like I've had some work done.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of work.
Yeah, were you on the Jersey
man.
Shore?
This is definitely like
Scary PTA mom.
girl's like
man.
your personal trainer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a personal trainer.
Personal trainer.
Do another rep.
Okay, but smash or pass Berkey.
Hard.
Pass. That's a pass. Sorry,
good.
Burke. I can't reciprocate.
No, that's good.
What do you mean
Can't
that's
The
good?
only,
Reciprocate.
the only
I don't
one
wanna
I'm
get-
smashing so far is Brian.
Just wait till you see Chin.
My man.
No. I'm not. I'm
Last
not
but not
excited about
least.
this.
Yeah.
Oh no.
This one really surprised me.
I'm gonna
Why
say
is it
Brian.
silent?
Reaction.
It's not their type. It's
I'm
not.
gonna- I'm
That's
gonna-
100%
I
true.
think-
Chin's trying to fuck himself right now.
It's beautiful.
It's my type
That
for
is
sure.
beautiful. Yeah.
Like almost all the girls I've dated look like that. So I have a complex.
I feel
Clearly.
like you for sure have like a cousin or an aunt.
Stop talking about my cousins, bro. I swear to God, I don't play that. Don't talk about my cousins. Don't talk about no cousins. Ain't no cousin talk.
Smash or pass Chin.
I would hard pass.
Hard pass.
Wow.
Not into it at
Lamanna's
all.
the
So
only one.
Lamanna's
not-
the
Lamanna wins.
clear.
Andre, you're a
The bell of the
question.
ball.
You guys don't like the female Landon?
No one likes the female Landon. No one.
Landon's
Man, that
voted
was
off the
awesome.
island.
We need more.
We got one
segments
more.
like that. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
That's manless.
Are you afraid this guy's gonna steal your girl?
This guy's gonna steal my.
Why is your
catalytic
forehead
converter.
so accented?
They added a little
Well, you gotta add something to make
a little
sure.
concern wrinkle.
Oh,
on
you
there.
probably had your hair back in the photo too. I'm guessing.
Yes.
I feel
Yeah.
like that guy has some
You
enemies
look-
coming after him.
Yeah, you.
I do. I have
Send
some
me-
enemies
what's
after
that,
me.
What's that like meme? It's like, oh, send me money. Like
Send me
my-
25K. My enemies are
My
after
enemies
me.
are after me.
Yeah.
You look like a dude who would pay another dude to bang your girl while you watch.
No, I'm the guy
What is
who's
in-
banging,
what is
who's
on
being
that
paid
shirt,
to bang.
Dude? There's like some.
I don't understand. What's the
You're
problem?
very like sexual.
I'm
today.
spicy today. It's St. Patty's Day. Let's go.
Oh man, dude.
I'm the dude that they're paying to bang their girl.
Stop it.
Yeah.
That dude looks very fragile.
He's got a heart of gold and strength.
hard.
A heart of gold.
All right. Well. So what's this segment called? Smash or
Smash
pass?
or pass.
I think we should do this like every month.
I just want before we get canceled, I want everybody to know this was Melissa's doing,
All me.
and we
Cancel
absolutely.
me,
But
have
either
baby.
way, it's like if we
Cancel me. I've
Bring
already
on the
canceled
cancel.
myself.
Bring on
No,
the cancel.
I like the segment. I think it was fun.
I'm still smashing Brian.
Yeah, Andre, make sure you send my picture to Berkey's.
Yeah, he's gonna want that
Inbox.
tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually upload it to my dating profile and say, if you look like this, swipe right.
I can't
Literally,
believe
like
you
I
you
trust her.
school.
Like I.
You
she-
literally-
I trust her.
I trust her.
That's the goal, man.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
This-
find a nice
this-
seven,
no,
a nice
it's not.
wholesome
This
7
lady
and a half.
looks like the.
Listen,
like-
you guys just have different views on the women
Yeah,
you
we
like.
do, we
Obviously,
do.
that one and
Yeah.
yours are on the opposite ends of this.
That looks like every girl we grew up with in high school.
That
Yeah.
looks like every teacher.
Yeah, that's.
If that's
the
what my
school
teacher looked like, we would have been in some
Bro,
trouble.
yeah.
That is
got a
like literally
point.
my first, second, third, fourth, and fifth grade.
How
teacher.
lucky were
my
you?
first
Yeah,
thought was
I
like
don't-
guidance
I don't-
counselor.
That's only Miss Ray.
My guidance counselor was Mr. Katniss.
Mr.
He
Katniss.
couldn't hear. He didn't know what guidance actually was. He just said "ma" a lot.
That's
What?
wild.
He was out there.
He was a cat.
I mean, we caught him at the end of days. Like he wasn't interested
Yeah.
in guiding us anywhere.
Man, that was incredible. All right.
All right, so moving on to a little business. We do have another Poker Out Loud spot of the week. If you check out our Twitter or Instagram, you can comment in the thread. This week we have a hand that Christian played against Nate, I believe.
all my hands were against Nate.
Yeah, button versus big blind. There's the range of hands that we have Christian opening 200 big blinds deep. The quote is him on the river before choosing to bet. He says, we want two sizes here, overbet in 2/3. My hand is strong enough to go overbet. So the question we're posing to the audience is, what is Christian's hand? It has to be one of the hands in the range chart there to the right. Go ahead and submit your answer either on the Instagram thread or the Twitter thread.
So I bet the flop for 2/3. That
2/3.
counts, and then check back
Check,
the turn.
check, turn,
And
and then overbet river. Go ahead and choose that hand. Once you do submit a guess, you are in the running to win $30 off any item in the S4Y merch shop.
I just want to say that everyone should definitely guess because you're a huge favorite to win because I keep looking and everyone's wrong.
Yeah, that part is true. Everybody is mostly wrong, although that's kind of giving a little bit away. But also, if multiple people guess the same answer, you'll be in a drawing. There's only going to be one winner for what it's worth.
They should do All right. Sorry. I was trying to help you guys.
Yeah, it's fine. Tying into that, we do still have seats available for the Poker Out Loud Academy. I'm going to plug this every single day, so don't get sick of it. New structure. It's going to be 4 days long. Day 1, you get all theory. Day 2, you play Poker Out Loud for 8 hours. So you're going to get probably 50 hands in, give or take. We're going to hear your thoughts. It's going to give you objective feedback on what you are doing correct or incorrect. Day 3, we'll cover some of those hands, and we'll go into theory discussion again, talking about post-flop strategies, flop, turn, and river play, etc. And then day 4, you'll get another full 8 hours of Poker Out Loud. Fantastic study resource for anybody who is a little bit lost in the strategy construction loop where you're not really sure where to go. I think this is a great objective metric in the sense that, like, you hear your thoughts, you hear your opponent's thoughts. It's pretty easy then to calibrate your sims according to what each individual strategy is, and then see how the equilibrium should actually play out. So if you have any interest in that, head to solve4y.io, click the Academy tab.
Academy.solve4y.io.
Oh, okay. I mean, you can get to it from both.
You can, but I make them click more.
Sure. Click the Academy tab if you go to the regular one. Otherwise, it's academy.solve4y.io. Still 3 seats remaining. We are going to open up a second group of 9 if we have the demand to do so.
Melissa will make portraits of all of you.
Yeah.
You can all be
You guys want to
womanized
smash or pass?
if you like.
if you'd like. Yeah, sounds like a bonus content.
Bonus content.
Bonus
Yeah,
feature.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the Poker Out Loud version. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a big hit.
Yeah, you're gonna have a tall order. You and Landon.
Why?
You guys are doing commentary, but the way it's gonna work.
Oh man. Okay.
Well, so it's not hard, but it's challenging. If that.
All right,
makes
go
sense.
ahead. Fire.
So it's not hard because you don't really have time to comment on each hand. You'll just have the 15, 20 seconds in between
while they're
hands.
dealing the next one.
Right. So you'll basically just say, like, that was a really interesting spot. We'll look at it later. And then what we're going to do is when they have dinner break, there'll be like an hour to fill there. And you guys are going to replay some of the hands, give your analysis compared to their thoughts.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
it's a
not
good
that
study
hard.
metric.
I mean, I
for
kind of
them.
enjoy stuff like that.
Yeah.
As long as I get to yell a little
And
bit.
then, the hands that you don't actually get to on that break, we'll discuss the following day in class.
Sounds good. I'm hyped. Let's do it.
So yeah, it'll be a good time. Speaking of poker, pretty big week for a young man that we're quite familiar with. He joined us for the first edition of Poker Out Loud Vloggers. He competed against Marley, Johnny Vibes, Trevor Savage. Was Matt Vaughn in that one, I believe, and Landon? I think that's who it was.
He was.
Yeah, Matt Vaughn and Landon were the other ones.
Okay.
Rampage Poker.
All right.
Big week for the young man.
I don't know about big week.
Big week, bro. He's
A
only been-
forgettable week.
He's been playing poker for 2 years. 2 years, and he bought in for $100,000 at Live at the Bite, or sorry, my apologies, at Hustler Live.
Yeah.
Facing off against G-Man.
And had 100% of himself.
Yeah,
also.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have a couple-
100%?
All right, so
I don't have 100% of myself in that game.
All right, I'm gonna let you get off first, and then I kind of have some thoughts.
What's this shirt doing to you, bro?
I'm gonna let
Chill
you.
out.
It's
I'm gonna let you
creeping
get
him
your-
out. You're sitting there with a glory hole.
Listen,
across
I'm gonna
from
let
him.
you get your shit off. I'm gonna let you get your shit off, and then we'll talk. So what do you think?
So the way, or I guess I should give a little bit of the backstory, right? So to catch everybody up, if you're not familiar with Rampage Poker, he came onto the scene during the pandemic. He was fresh out of college or still a college kid who had an interest in poker, but more specifically had an interest in becoming a content creator for YouTube. And a couple of months in, he ends up winning a WSOP bracelet during the first online bracelet series.
Right.
And I believe it happened either the day before I made my first final table or the day after I made my second one.
This ain't about you, dog. Let's go.
I'm giving the full breadth of the story because he fell onto my radar that way.
I got you.
Because I remember like tuning into his stream
Right.
while I was streaming.
Right. I do remember that. Right.
So he rips off a bracelet, self-proclaimed not very good at that point, like pretty fresh and new.
Well, he was a cash game player.
Yeah, from Boston,
Right.
playing in, like some of the underground games and
Yeah.
win Encore. So yeah, like not like pretty new to the tournament scene, pretty new to poker overall. Wins a bracelet in 6 figures, big deal, right?
sure.
Never really got out of the mindset that he's new and learning and not elite. Like at no point does he advertise himself as an elite pro, right? Even now.
Yeah. Sure.
So
that's fair.
now we're like 2 years into the experiment. His YouTube has blown the fuck up. He's crushing it.
Yeah.
He put a video out not that long ago showing his showing his revenue for the year. I think he made like $250,000 on YouTube. Impressive, because like when he was here, I spoke to him a little bit about it, and he's like, "Yeah, like I have big plans for YouTube. I think I know how to, basically become a major influencer on there. I have this idea for multiple channels. He has, I think, 3 different channels. He has Rampage Poker, Ethan Yao, which is just his personal page, and then I think there's another one, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
All seem to be doing really well. I know his Rampage Poker one's the most popular, has like 150K subs.
Yeah,
He has
for
videos
sure.
with over 500,000 views, etc. But over that time, he continually keeps ramping it up. So him and Mariano, they do a lot of
Meetup games
like
together.
meetup games together. They
Joints.
travel together.
Yeah,
They
certainly.
lived on the road together a bit. And from my understanding, having spoken with him briefly, Mariano is a little bit further along in his progression.
Mariano is specialized in live cash games.
Yeah, like for sure winning at 5-10, probably winning at 10-20.
Yeah,
somewhere in that
think
realm.
I think if he played Bellagio 5-10, he would probably be in the top 5 players in the pool.
That's where I met him.
Yeah.
I was at Bellagio playing 50-100 one day, and he happened to be in town. This was during pandemic, and I think he was playing 5-10. But yeah, for sure, I think he's winning in that pool, and he's probably winning in like most 10-20s across the
Yeah,
country.
that's fair for sure.
So he's a little bit further along. I imagine that he's helping Ethan a lot in his progression. But here we are now 2 years later, and Ethan's just like going for it, man. Like just playing nosebleeds. This is the second time he bought him for 100K on Hustler.
Right.
The first time was a bit softer of a lineup. There was no G-Man.
I mean, that lineup was also good. It was just G.
Right. Yeah. So this lineup was, he should be a favorite, I think. Or,
yeah, he's in there.
Or break even.
This is the
at
thing.
worst.
This is the thing. Like before I get into all this stuff, like, is he a favorite? His EV gets massively cut down when G-Man's on his left covering 100K. Like at that point, he might not even be a favorite anymore.
I think buying it for 100K in that particular game is dangerous.
All right, let me get my shit off, because I feel like it's kind of the problem. I think it's dangerous when like the newer generation, the kids, whatever, like they end up getting like massive attention, and then they keep having to up the ante.
Right.
And then it's like, bro, this is this is a dangerous path in a gambling environment where you could lose a lot of money fast if you play this game. And I think it happens.
If the cameras weren't on, do we think he buys in for 100K?
No, I don't think he's buying in for 100K off stream, knowing that G-Man is right there. Like it's just kind of dumb. Like it's just like, so it's like, I think that we're getting into an era with like these YouTubers or like influencers, or wanting to be an influencer, wanting to be known, where you have to keep upping the ante. And it's just like, you don't have to do that. People like you for your personality. You don't have to buy for 100.
It's kind of fascinating though, because A, it does get the clicks, which is important for him. But B, it's the opposite of what it was like coming up for me. So for me, I was buying 500 big blinds deep into every uncapped game, and I didn't give a shit about who was to my left ever. Bellagio 10-20, I'm sitting 10K always, right? But like now, the irony is if I had his seat in that particular lineup, I would have bought him for 40,000.
Yeah.
And it's not even
100%.
a matter of being scared money. Like I don't mind playing 100K deep with Garrett. It's just nobody else was 100K
right.
deep.
You're literally just providing
I'm just negatively
a good,
free rolling myself.
Yes, you're providing a good situation for Garrett.
For Garrett, yeah. It's like I'm just upping his EV for no real good reason. And I'm sure he would return the favor if roles were reversed. But like, who cares? Like,
it's not about that.
If the difference between me selling or not selling in the game is buying in for 40 versus 100, I would rather have 100% of myself buying in for 40K bullets than I would have like say 66% of myself buying in for 100K bullets at a time.
Right, and this is what I'm saying. Like, he was playing and for the record, I think what he's doing is great for poker, right? Like the YouTube channel, I think he's a great kid. I played a couple hands with him at Bellagio, but at the same breath, he's like firing off like U.S. poker opens for like 10K, 25s, and I'm like, what are we really doing here? Like, are you taking all yourself in all these spots that you're like not a favorite in?
Bro, he's young. He's 23. He's gonna make money.
I understand. Is he gonna make money? He's gonna make money on YouTube. Is he gonna make money playing 25Ks? Is he gonna make
When
money?
you were 23, did you have solid income coming in?
No, I don't think so.
Me either. Did you, Lamanna?
No.
Conrad?
Yeah.
What'd you have? You were fucking
He
stealing.
was breaking pots.
Right, but I still don't. Okay,
rich.
so he has a side hustle great.
Well, my point is
or is that
that-
the main hustle?
Okay, my point coming full circle is, what kind of risk were you taking at 23, Lamanna?
I mean, all of it.
Right.
Yeah.
We were buying into 1Ks with
Yeah.
like a 40K
Yeah, but it's a
roll.
different.
He
We're
has-
talking about different eras.
It's
We're not.
more
it's
like
different.
it's more risk though because he actually has money from the YouTube
Correct.
stuff. So it's actually way more risk.
He's not going from 0 to 100. He's not going from 0 to 1. He's going from already being at 1, potentially going backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it replenishes, is my point. I understand what you're saying. Like, he was able to build a role without risk, and that's pretty important and nice. And I'm not advocating that he should be firing off all this money. Like, of course, it's irresponsible. He should be selling and probably buying in for less and things of that nature. But the point I'm really trying to make is that he's so young, he'll land on his feet. He has an established career path that is going to make him more than poker, at least in the near term.
Yes,
And
in the near term.
Yeah, and he's very young, so he still has the ability to take his licks and get better and learn
Unless
from
this
them.
thing goes away, there's a bunch of YouTube channels that were huge, and then that segment of YouTube just disappeared. Remember, like all the pranks that were
Sure.
they were super fire. Everyone was getting rich in that FubiTube or whatever. All these people or
Gets
FuziTube,
oversaturated.
yeah, they all crushed it, and they thought that, and then the segment vanished. Now
But could we make an argument that if like the poker vloggers' ability to earn goes away, so does the ability to earn in poker?
Yeah, but that's a slippery slope. We don't know. We
On a-
know that
on a bright
poker
note-
hasn't gone away, but we know YouTube channels and YouTube communities have gone
On a
away.
bright note, he did win a circuit ring in a 2K for like 55, and then he just won a circuit ring in LAPC or LA for
So
at
how
the
much
bike
is he-
for like 55.
So he stuck 100.
No,
Stuck a little less, either more like
he
my
said he's
whole
down 5 figures for the week.
my whole perspective is, at least for him, like in his shoes, like money comes and goes, and he's risking a lot, but he's also young enough to be able to take those kind of risks and then be okay. Not that they're the smart thing to do, but it's a choice. Like he doesn't have to.
Well, also we talk about this a lot. The whole frontal lobe thing.
Yeah,
Young men, they're gonna take.
we're
those
not fully
risks,
developed yet. Yeah,
You know.
It's true. It's true. Your prefrontal cortex doesn't develop till you're like 25. So like, you are going to be naturally more risk
Dumb.
tolerant, I imagine. Well, I don't know if it's dumb or not. I did the same shit, man. Like my
More
bankroll was on the
attracted to
table
risk.
endless times. Literally, I've had Lamanna tap me on my shoulder in Niagara Falls and say, "Hey, man, maybe you should get up. You have 90% of your worth on the table."
But then you say,
So many
Brian,
times.
you're busy dealing with strippers. I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you're gonna lose all our stripper money. Get up and go.
We need that for later.
Honestly, it would
girl
literally
with
just make
sundowner
me
or
dig in. It would literally make me dig in more. It's like I'm playing 10-20
different
with,
though, Berkey.
with like 10K or something like that, and I'm up 10.
I don't-
And he's like, "Yo, you just doubled your net worth. Get up." And I'm like, "Look at this game, bro."
But I think this gets amplified because the cameras are on him all
Agreed.
day.
I agree. That's
This
why I
is-
said it was the opposite, right? So he's doing this as a show, right? Which is corollary to how he's really making his money. Whereas when we were coming up, it was just negligent risk. I was just doing it because I was an idiot who was arrogant and had no I had no regard whatsoever for money or risk.
But who's in his ear is what I'm trying to say. Like when I was coming up, I had Drew as like one of the OGs. He has like a whole group of OGs, right? Like who is in Rampage ear saying like, yo, probably not a great idea to have 100K on
Well,
the
maybe
table.
nobody, because like he's in the same boat with YouTube that like Brian and I were with poker coming up. Who'd you have in your ear coming up?
I didn't have anybody.
Me either.
Yeah.
Like we had each other, but we didn't know shit from shit, right?
Right.
And he probably is in the same space with YouTube, where it's like he doesn't have any other creators outside of like Marion, other guys doing it in the space that haven't established anything really long term either, right?
guess
Yeah, there
I
was just a small group of
understand.
us trying to just figure it out as we went.
Yeah.
Like I understand the thing of it's sort of even if I lose, this is good for my main source of income anyway.
Yeah.
So it's sort of maybe it balances out.
Yeah,
a
like
little
it's
bit.
a for the fans kind of
Yeah,
thing.
like it's still at least even if I lose, it's a positive impact on my channel, and if I win, then it's a bonus.
Well, so you guys can talk about this a little bit, I think, because you're on the come up too. Like he has sort of like double EV here, right? There is EV to him playing the game. It's almost certain that he's not like a massive loser. And with just variance alone, he can be making money. But then on top of that, there's the secondary function of this can, add clicks.
Yeah.
This is something that can generate him revenue through YouTube.
Yeah.
And I think you guys both, being pretty fresh in your career, are looking for ways to diverge and make a bunch of other income. So I guess like talk a little bit about that process, like how you're parsing through risk and what is most beneficial to you when you're trying to turn your attention to things.
Yeah, well, I think it's very hard, and I honestly have a ton of respect for him because I know the content grind is a grind. Like, he is clearly putting in a lot of thought and effort into this, and I think there is like a long-term, even though, you know, the frontal lobe, there is a long-term thought there of this is going to be plus EV for my channel and stuff. I think it's smart. Like, I feel like if you're coming up right now, is the creator economy is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it's only growing every year. If you can get in on it, and as we talked about in earlier episodes, if you're setting yourself up for maybe when poker becomes legal later, you know, being a presence in
Suddenly
that,
he might be more signable than someone like me.
exactly, yeah.
Right.
He already has a fan base.
Right.
Yeah, content changes. And I think what I mean by that is there's different ways to, I guess, leave an impact on a community, where you can do it from a YouTube sense, you can do it from an Instagram sense, from a social media like Twitter standpoint or whatever. And when it comes to, I guess, monetizing that sort of becomes a secondary thought, depending on what your primary goals are. Because I can only speak for myself, but for me, like, my still primary goal is being the best poker player I can be. And then being a social media influencer, or whatever you want to call it, in like a poker standpoint is second. So for me, the goal is still the same. And it's just like a nice bonus that kind of gets added in where it can be.
They feed off each other, though. Like,
Yeah.
where we've gotten opportunities to play in games where we wouldn't if we didn't have presence on there.
Sorry about that. Y'all are saying that in his case, it's backwards.
Well,
He's a content creator first, so because poker is second, that he gets to take on more risk. Whereas, like, if you're a professional poker player first, like, this is just a bad bankroll situation for you. Like,
So I've had some conversations with him about this stuff where I had a conversation with him after he bought into the Aria 10K and sort of realized how good everyone was. And he told me that he's in a place in his career where he does want to get better at poker and also does want to make content. And we had that conversation of it's very hard to do both, in the sense of becoming a better poker player as well as being a content creator. So it seems like at the start, his sort of main grind was trying to become a content creator, but also loves poker and wants to improve and get better. But there is a disconnect between being a good content creator and being a good poker player.
But it's kind of easy to blur the lines, right? Like, when we look at something like you taking on the Perkins challenge, like that started from just a young brash kid firing off a tweet, right? So, like, something like that, in that particular instance, the attention is being put ahead of the EV.
Yeah.
You know, because, like, there was no real long-term calculation of, like, what the EV of this particular spot is, how much are you actually winning for, is this a fair spot that you're giving Perkins in this particular instance, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I guess, like, talk a little bit about how easy it is to get swept up whenever it comes to the public attention and it comes to being an influencer or a personality that people are following and engaging with.
and this is kind of what I was trying to say. Like,
It becomes one of those things, at least in my perspective, where it's very easy to overinflate an ego as well as overestimate ability. Where it comes to the attention is nice, and like having that spotlight is something that I never had. So having that was something that was new to me, and it was a feeling that I kind of wanted to chase. But at the same time, I never really had a conversation with anyone from my corner, so to speak, about, oh, hey, like, I'm willing to lay 9. Because I knew that win rates in heads up was very high, like upwards of double digits in big blinds. But that's versus someone that doesn't study. And that's in a different player pool. And that's not where there's public attention and media and this, that, or whatever on it. Right? It's just you play somebody in a room.
right, they're not
and
they're not embarrassed. They can't
Exactly.
be embarrassed. Right.
It's
So-
also for people who are established in the heads up realm. That wasn't your game. You were a 6-max player.
Yeah, like normal win rates for like regs, 6-max regs versus recreational players heads up, like just from population data, was somewhere between 20 and 30 big blinds per 100. It was just massive. And you didn't have to be a heads up specialist to do it. It was just because if your pre-flop ranges are bad and your post-flop is very straightforward, you just get smashed through red line. But it also is one of those things where I realized after the fact that it was more of an attention thing than it was an EV standpoint. And at the time, I thought it was more from an EV standpoint, but I also knew that there would be attention on it. So it's very easy to kind of conflate how valuable having the attention is and how good that makes you feel emotionally versus how good it is from a dollar perspective. Because maybe when it comes to the idea in itself and the EV of the spot, maybe was slightly winning / small. It was kind of on a varying scale of how much is he going to try versus how much am I going to try. So it's hard to kind of
There were
quantify
unknown
those
variables,
things.
yeah.
Right. But when it comes to something like playing an Aria 10K, if like you'd never played tournaments before and don't understand ICM, right? Your ROI is probably somewhere between -20 and 40%. So at that point, you know you're taking a loss, but you also know it's going to be good content. So it's always about trying to draw the line of how much is this risk where I could be losing versus how well can this content set me up for the future.
Right.
And these quantifications are hard.
Like it's like future game opportunities
Exactly.
in life.
Yeah, it's like what
But-
can this opportunity give me later on?
And in defense of Rampage a little bit, like if he buys in for 20K, I think this is a non-story.
But that's not. Well, yes, but that is not. Like
Well, it
that's the
depends on
butterfly
the-
effect.
I think
like
it
the
depends
fact that
on
he
the
bought in
plus
for
minus.
100K and lost all this money is what's making this story.
Right.
No, but even if he didn't lose, I think he's able to spin buying in for 100K with Garrett Alstein to his left as a story.
I mean, that was
Right,
the
but
title.
that is one of the
Yeah.
variables. That is one of the outcomes that happens. Like
No, I understand.
Right.
I understand. I'm saying I think he's consciously taking on the risk,
Right.
knowing that regardless of what the outcome is, he still has this hook, which is I bought into a 100, 200 game with an elite pro to my left for $100,000.
Yeah.
For a house, for a car. He can quantify these things, right?
for what it's-
20,000 just doesn't have the same shock appeal.
I think for what it's
I
worth, it's
know
just about the
that's why
plus
he did it,
minus,
of
right?
course.
I think it's just about the plus minus because if Ethan won 100K, like that's a massive story. If he
Yep.
lost 100K, it's also a massive story. But like from a
but
non-result
he's-
standpoint, buying in for 100 is a story.
okay, I understand that part, but like it's not like
free-rolling
this.
a story.
It's not like Ethan's working with multi-million-dollar bankrolls here.
No.
He has all of himself. We have to assume his bankroll is less than $1 million.
Yeah.
So he's putting up somewhere between 10% to 25 or 20% of his bankroll on the table with an elite player at the end of the
And
day.
I
So it's
think
like,
it's-
as a professional poker player, I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
But
Yeah.
it's different for
Nobody-
you. It's different
nobody's
for you.
calling it like a logical or a plus EV or smart money decision. But
Right, it's also
more so
very
seeing
different.
it what it is.
It's also very different for the professional poker player because they don't have replenishing income at all, right? So they're living off their bankroll, they're playing off their bankroll. It's an opportunity cost to lose. You know, he might have lost like half of his roll. And that's a huge opportunity cost to a professional poker player. It doesn't change anything for him.
I don't know, man. $250K a year. It's like, okay, so he's gonna have to wait a
Right.
while
And that's
to replenish
assuming
this
that
money.
the faucet stays the same or increases, basically.
Yeah, but it also is assuming that
assuming-
he's not going to buy him for 100K anytime again in the near
Yeah,
future.
yeah.
So this isn't an opportunity cost. He's just going to go back to playing 5, 10, 10, 20, which he'll still be rolled for.
Don't get me wrong, it doesn't not suck. And
Right,
he
I
made a video on it, like reflecting on the past week and how he lost more money than he ever thought he could potentially do in his life, thinking that, oh, I'm buying in for 100. I can't actually lose 100. But then when you lose 100, like it's like everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
He got
We
punched
act-
in the fucking mouth, and it sucks.
We actually have a clip of Rampage's reaction to the playing on Hustler Live.
This is not a good hand at all. Look at the chat. Oh no. Oh no, that is a shit.
Let's get something straight, though. He did run very poorly.
I think that that's worth noting.
I feel like that happens when you're underrolled, though.
100%.
You know?
No.
Whenever
Oh my
you're
God, yes.
underrolled,
No, it
you
doesn't.
are getting stacked
Bro,
against.
Christian's never lost more than 2 sessions in a row.
There's some people
he
that
went on
can
a
win
2-session
on the roll.
downswing once, and
Conrad's the
the
only
fucking
person
world
I
was
know
gonna
that
end.
wins underrolled.
I've definitely experienced both, and the times that I've needed the win the absolute most,
That's when you're gonna get
I'm
fucked.
decimated.
Yeah.
I'm just so drawing dead.
gonna get
What one of the most memorable hands I've ever had that probably shaped my career in some regard was I had a huge 2009, 2010, 2011. And I had gone from like a 25K bankroll, maybe even less, because Brent was backing me online. I won a Sunday major on Full Tilt. I won a Venetian, or I chopped a Venetian event for like 50K, and then I got 43rd in the main event for like 200,000. So I just like skyrocket, right? Then I make my first WSOP final table in 2011 for like another 120,000. So I'm in like this 300K bankroll area, and I didn't know what the fuck to do with it. Because the biggest games were like 10, 20, and I felt massively overrolled because I've never had, more than 10 or 20 buy-ins for any stake I was playing. So I started backing all of my friends.
Massively overrolled for the biggest game in Vegas, 300.
I'm just like, I'm putting LaManna in everything. I'm putting my friend Brandon in everything. Like,
Putting some of the strippers in everything.
yeah, I'm putting strippers in everything.
Saving them.
So they all go on this 6-figure downswing, and I start downswinging at 1020 myself after going on a pretty big upswing. So I lose most of my profits back, and suddenly I find myself in mid 2012, like right around Easter, with like a $35,000 roll, and that was where I began 2009, and I was healthy. I was able to play 2-5, 5-10 on that roll, no problem. But now I'm on the other side of it, where I peaked at like 350, and I have 10% of that all of a sudden. So I'm just looking to dust it all off. And I remember scouring Bravo and seeing that the Venetia was running a 5-10-20 game. 5-10-20 game, which they like never got. So I knew it was going to be uber soft. I sprint down there. I have 25,000 on me. I buy in for it, leave myself
like in
10K.
Rounders.
What's that?
It's like in Rounders.
Yeah. So like I get down there, and this reg that I had battled with a bunch is to my left. His name was Keanu, and he has me covered. Second hand in, there's a whale in the 20. It folds to me in the cut, and I open kings. He 3-bets me huge. I opened at the time I was opening big, so I think I opened like 80 or 100, and he 3-bets me to like 700, and we're 25K effective. Comes back, and I 4-bet like massive, like 4,500. These sizes were egregious, but there was this leveling war that took place between regs and like this.
I mean, the 4-bet huge is not even that bad out of position, honestly.
True. So. He jams 25,000.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
I'm sick, but
Oh God.
I have kings.
You
I
know,
call.
and you know he has aces.
No, he does not have aces. So we're playing a 50K pot, and I have two red kings, and I'm like, twice? And he goes, nah, man, I only run it once. By the way, this guy's not in poker any longer. Partially, this is why. I'm like, what do you mean you only run it? We're playing a fucking $50,000 pot at 1020. We're the only two goddamn pros in the game. And it's like, I'm thinking to myself, like, this pot is the most meaningful pot of my life right now. Like,
Right.
Please run it twice. And after he denies me twice, I'm just like, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm going to win this somehow. So I table my kings, and he just shakes his head. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Board comes ace, ace, deuce. He rolls over ace, king, and I'm fucking dead. Just dead.
Oh God.
Stone dead. And I'm just like, okay, well, this is where it ends. I got what I deserved here, I guess.
I'll see you guys never.
Yeah, literally, I
going
just
back
like
to
tucked
the
my
steel
tail.
mill.
I like tucked my tail and just like slumped out of there. And then for like the next year, I'm playing 2-5 in DJAF, Billy. We had battled so much throughout the years. We were both like kind of in a downswing at that time. And I've been on his pod, and we like talked about that exact moment or whatever. He's like, yeah, man, I just remember like being in these 2-5 games with you, and like you weren't the same person. Like I got set over set in a spot for like $500 or something like that, and he was sitting to my immediate left, and like he just saw the whole thing unravel, and it was just like, I just knew you were never coming back from that. And it was true. It took me like over a year of like really hard considering quitting poker, moving on into something else, because I didn't think I had it anymore. Like, it's just impossible to pick yourself up at that point. So I just like, luckily, cared enough to think that I was talented and just dove headfirst into studying. Wow. And over the next year, like,
I saved you, dude.
Yeah, just like he saved the stripper.
How did you save me?
Bro, like I gave you confidence. Like, bro, teach me the way.
That was 2.5 years later.
That exactly. Once you started, like, like
I was
bro,
rich
you
then.
told you
built
you were
yourself
not
back
rich.
up again.
Yeah, I was.
No, you told me when I hit you up, you were still poor.
No, I wasn't poor. 2013, I had $500,000 in cashes at the World Series. I got to keep most of that. I was already in the big game by the time we
I
met.
manifested your ability.
He was manifesting it from
within.
Yeah.
By the way, my
Before
shirt
he met
does
you.
say, luck is believing you are lucky.
I mean, I will say Conrad's literally the only person I've ever seen who wins underrolled.
Manifestation.
Well, he also loses under roll.
That's true.
And more importantly,
I guess he's consistent.
more importantly, he
We
loses
underrolled.
roll. A lot.
He did manifest winning
Not
that
really.
25K
He
mystery
plucked
bounty,
a
though.
25K bounty at the Orleans.
He
and
really
we
did.
all-
He was like down the
Manifestation.
fumes, played the Orleans mystery bounty, made day 2, and goes, guys, I'm gonna pull the 25K. He gets one fucking bounty. Snap pulls the 25K and then busts the event.
I mean, what else did they play for at
That's
that
where,
point? Right?
that's
Yeah,
where they
you
got
can
that,
carry that.
that bottle of bourbon.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
right there.
That's
Where
true.
is it?
I don't know.
You
It was
guys
on the
killed
table.
it.
No, it's
So
right
what
down
are
there.
the
Don't
final
worry,
thoughts
we got
with this?
reserves. We got reserves.
Shout out to Boone's Bourbon.
So I do think
So
I do
what-
think
yeah,
it's
what are
worth
the final thoughts?
I do think it's worth examining a couple hands that he played. First of all, after getting decimated, he did find a way to be a hero. And I mean, for what it's worth, like I don't think this was strategically good, but like he had to have known something in the moment. He pulls a suicide bluff where he min jams river over a $7,000 bet. It was like 7K. He jams for like 15 or 16 total.
Oh, yeah, 20.
With dust on a queen deuce deuce 4 deuce board.
Yep.
I think we have a clip of that
Yeah.
where he does get the miraculous fold.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I bet 7,000 and he bluff raised. Garrett, would you have called? Holy shit! I don't know, man. I don't know. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
So gangster. They're gonna love that. On That's the bluff of the.
That fold is wild.
Bro,
I can't believe
come on,
it.
man.
Do you know
Like,
the action that you know how that hand happened or no?
Go.
I don't.
It went open, button calls with kings.
Okay.
So this thing where his pot. I think it goes c-bet call, turn check, bet, float.
Okay.
River check. He overbet 7K into 4.
Yeah.
And Ethan just like, nah, bro, like you ain't got it. All in.
How do you fold king?
Tank fold.
And it wasn't for a lot more. It wasn't like he jammed for 20,000
Right.
over
But it's
7.
like you have.
What does he think
He
has?
jammed like 23
Yeah.
effective into 7.
Doesn't have
So it was like
quads.
7K, the guy like 16 behind, and then he jammed. So
Oh, I
16K
thought the
more.
guy only had
Like 14K?
like 8
no,
or 9.
he had like
yeah.
23K after that.
Okay, so he had like 14 behind. But
Yeah.
still, I mean, like
I
this
mean,
is the best spot ever for kings.
It was a very gangster. This is a very I want to win this hand right now.
Right.
Sort of jam.
Right. I honestly like. He's lucky that it gets through. It's probably to some level a tilt play because
Yeah.
like the turn float is.
The turn
pretty
float has to
not
be
great.
not great,
Yeah.
and then the river is like, okay, I see
It's
opportunity.
like, well, I got here, so.
Right.
Right.
He's just not gonna make money trying to get people to fold kings there.
Well, he doesn't
in
know
LA.
his kings, obviously.
In LA,
He doesn't know his kings is single raise pot, but like you have to assume the guy has a queen.
at minimum, yes. a
Right.
queen.
Like trying to get him to fold a queen here seems like
No.
pretty suicidal.
No.
But man, the kid has fucking heart at least. Like for better or for worse, he has heart. He bought in for a pile with a pro to his left. It's
true.
He ran a fucking suicide bluff
How
whenever
many
he was
people
buried.
with heart like are
He
still
definitely
around
didn't
from
play
your era?
scared.
I got heart, man. Let's
You might
fucking
be the
go.
only one with heart left.
I don't
Like,
know. I agree. Brains outweigh heart in this
I mean,
particular.
I like
arena.
the kid too. I like him a lot.
I just think he has a lot of potential upside. Like the ability to take on
course,
risks
of course.
is worth a lot. Like, yeah, you should be conservative once you start to come into some money. But, you know, for better or for worse, he also ran well. Like he replenished 2/3 of these losses instantly.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
snap,
But
wins
that-
a
you
fucking
see,
ring.
Yes, I don't disagree with that. But the world will only give you so many
Right.
of those.
No, I know.
It's like it's almost like it's building
Yeah.
worse habits
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
letting him replenish it.
Oh yeah, you only get so many reprieves. Conrad's exhausted. His.
Because
He
then
doesn't know
you
it.
start to think, oh well, don't worry, I'm just gonna bink something
I haven't
after
even
this
started.
anyway, and you don't. Then at one point it just stops.
Yeah.
Yeah, after
And then you're fucked.
I had to quit the Perkins thing, I just won like 120 off WSOP and ACR in tournaments.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh,
There's your reprieve.
I guess this is where I should have spent my time instead.
Right.
The world will forgive you like a couple times. They'll be
Couple
like,
times.
okay, we'll let this one slide.
I
But if
think
you
it
do this
depends-
again,
That's how I feel. Like after that Kings versus Ace King hand, I vowed like I was gonna quit poker at that point. But like once I had that summer in 2013 where I suddenly had like 300K and then an invite into the big game shortly thereafter, I was like, okay, you can't ever go broke again because you've exhausted all of your second chances.
Yeah.
I think
Like,
it depends on how
this
much
is
heart
just
you
it.
have, right? Like,
What's up?
I think it depends how much heart you have, how much dedication you have to like put yourself back in this.
but it's also just math. Like you
Yeah.
can't, you just can't
course.
continuously
The
like
gambler's ruin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like eventually you just go broke.
Well,
It's
isn't
zero.
that the argument when it comes to something like in Ethan's case, where he does have, you can't be ruined if you have a replenishing roll.
Yeah, but 250 is not infinity.
I mean, he could if he continually
If he
maintains the
keeps
risk.
playing these stakes, then yeah.
Yeah. If he just always keeps playing 100, 200 and maintains the risk, of course he'll exhaust his resources.
Of course.
But that's unlikely to happen. He's almost certain to go back down to 1/10 the stakes.
That's the part I'm not so sure of, Berkey. Like these cameras keep coming on.
Yeah.
These
True.
invites will keep coming.
That's
Right.
true.
He
Like-
will get more
like,
invites and
these
then
YouTube
more
views keep going
expectation.
up because like you keep playing bigger and bigger, and it's like, well, I can't lose
Right, now
to
it's a
Garrett. I
200,
can't get
400
unlucky
game.
to Garrett every single time, right? Like how he did, or that we're about to show.
Yeah, that's true. And that is kind of like the correction, right? Like he ran really bad versus Garrett, and I think he even tweeted something. Melissa was saying he tweeted something like this.
He was like, I sacrificed money to G-Man for Run Good.
Yeah.
No,
he
Berkey
paid it-
tried that.
It doesn't work for me. I'm too old. But yeah, he paid at the altar of the gods and was rewarded with a ring victory. But he did run pretty bad, running ace king into aces versus a guy that you're 500 big blinds effective with,
Oh, we flopped the king.
and it comes king high. Let's take a look at the clip because I have some things to say about this. I very rarely say anything bad about Garrett, but like I don't think he played this hand optimally.
I like the way he played that, but we'll see. We'll see.
Just ice cold for Rampage. $16,000. Just a drop under half set pot size bet. There's the call. Ugh. You could just feel for him there. Aces versus ace king, and you flop a king.
Did he bet river? He did, yeah.
So very luckily, be it run out or just the sheer presence of kings in Rampage's range. Although I don't know that that's necessarily true. It was only a 4-bet pot.
He can't just like 5-bet kings get in pre-flop. Like,
Well,
he's just gonna be shown 2 aces.
I
all day.
don't
And ace.
I don't think a 6-bet ever comes through. I think aces just start pure flatting,
Right.
and all worse hands for sure start flatting. And I guess that's kind of the point, right? Like you do want to lower SPR out of position with kings. Like you're pretty happy to play an all-in pot, just not pre.
I don't know. I mean, they're
Kings
so
and
deep.
jacks makes up a decent amount, right?
Yeah, like Garrett's in position. He's probably gonna 4-bet small with like at least queens and jacks some of the time.
Frequency jacks, frequency queens too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Ace king for sure.
Frequency ace king, not always ace king 4-bet there.
Yeah, not always.
Yeah.
Right.
How deep were they to start?
They were 400 blinds. Yeah, break your brain.
Yeah. At 400, you just don't find a way to be all in, I don't think.
I agree with
You're
that.
risking too much of your overall range breaking down as to how do you get 400 big blinds in the pot pre, unless you have like a massive 3-bet size.
Right.
Well,
Well, he
massive
was out of the
4-bet
small
size.
blind, so it's not going to be massive, but it's going to be sized
Yeah.
up. But yeah, I mean, whatever. Like the whole point I'm trying to get at is it comes king high. Ethan obviously check calls third pot on flop. Turn is a jack of diamonds bringing backdoors. Goes check check, and then the river is a brick check. Garrett bets half pot. Ethan just calls obviously. Spares well over half his stack. I think he still had like 55,000 or so, 50,000 after the hand, which is nice because by all accounts he very easily could get stacked here. I think like on a king 4 deuce board or whatever it was.
Yeah, if it comes
something of that
king
nature.
low, he's in huge trouble.
No, you're dead. You
Yeah.
just get stacked.
Yeah, I don't think the jack is that different though. Well, first of all, I think I would set up 3 on the flop regardless. So I would just start with half pot in Garrett's shoes.
It's just not a thing in 4-bet pot though. Like,
Well, it
king
just
high.
depends on how deep you are.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Super
super
deep, of
deep.
course
Yeah,
you
but I mean,
Yeah, you just
Okay.
have ace kings and try to find a way to play for all of it.
Yeah,
like
you don't have to
blocking
have
kings.
one single size here. I'm saying like I think that I would have like a 3 size and then maybe a quarter pot size, where you're going to range bet this board, of course.
Yeah.
But some of your stronger hands are going to want to be able to play for stacks by the end. And when you start with quarter, it's going to be very hard.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to go quarter pot.
Right.
And that's just pretty tough for Ethan to have a hand to defend.
It's also just prevalent how much king jack off is in Ethan's range because
It's 0.
Right. So if it's 0, the only thing that exists is king jack suited and then
and
jacks.
kings.
And then kings.
Yeah, and jacks.
Right. And then but there's also king queen suited, king jack suited, king 10 suited.
Exactly.
So it's
King
just a
jack
matter
suited
of
is
Always
bad for us.
king.
Right. So it's just a matter of like how prevalent that stuff is. Like if the board comes king 4 deuce deuce 6, like you're just dead.
Yeah.
Like we'll see you. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think that like he could have and should have gotten stacked on this board. But
yeah.
in any event, like as it plays out, he does get kind of lucky while being unlucky.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
He lost less than
He
could
definitely
have.
lost the minimum.
Yeah, he
For
lost. He
sure.
lost less than he could have. You can't fold at any point. You can't
No.
do anything else at any point. You just have to play the game of just okay, please.
What do you
don't
think
have
about
it.
his river check?
I would like block bet on
It,
him.
river, it went back call on river.
No.
He went check call.
Check.
Check, half
Ace king
pot call.
check.
Ace king. I think ace king you probably want to bet,
Yeah,
and
block,
then
yeah.
king queen king jack you want to check.
Yeah.
But it's
yeah.
probably mixes. 'cause
You could probably mix them all into
Yeah,
into blocks.
Yeah, there
at
can't
some
be
frequency.
like a definite one way or the other depending on the other range and all that stuff.
Yeah. So in some ways, he got unlucky and lucky both in that particular
Yeah,
spot.
Jack falling on the turn is lucky for him.
Yeah.
It slowed Garrett down.
The
For
jack
sure.
does look scary because jacks are going to float,
Float.
versus a flop.
Well, especially
a flop
versus
I
third
don't want to
pot.
get raised by like diamond draws or something.
Yeah,
I don't know
Yeah.
how much that does that.
That's not the worst thing in the world.
it's
have aces?
in position in that spot. It's probably not going to have many raises as in position out of position
No,
just
no,
gets to jam.
No, he's
No, she's saying you'll get check raised.
check raise on turn.
Ethan's out of position.
Yeah, the amount of diamond draws for the 4-better we're talking here.
No.
No,
3-bet caller.
the out of position.
She's saying when Garrett bets the
Ethan's-
turn, he has to have some concern about being check raised by combo draws.
Ethan's out of position.
Correct.
Yes.
When the king and the jack were both suited of diamonds.
Correct.
So there aren't that many diamond floats. Like there
Yeah.
aren't that many. Like queen 10 of diamonds doesn't exist for Ethan.
Right.
I'm
we-
not so
right.
sure it doesn't exist for Ethan. Like I think if he 3-bets,
He might
and
get a
gets-
little gangster there,
and
but like
calls-
it's more
he's
so
not
going to
the
be.
type to just like muck it. I
Well,
agree.
It's
he
more
should
so going to
muck
be
it,
the ace queen ace.
But like
tens.
I don't know if he's just pure mucking it.
It's more so going to be the ace queens ace.
You
tens.
saw other hands that he played, right, where he just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
naked floated. Like
Yeah.
people that naked float turns to bluff rivers on the queen high
Right.
full
That was a
house.
very different spot.
But those people are not built to just 3-bet fold queen 10 suited. Those are not the
No,
same.
no.
human
He's
beings.
saying that he just wouldn't
I'm
float
saying
the flop.
to fold flop on a king 6. What was king 4 deuce? Or
King
was
6 deuce, something
it's
like
king
that.
6 deuce. Like queen 10 of diamonds isn't just going to peel one off,
Yeah,
right? It's at least not out of position.
I don't think he's gonna fold. But all right,
Yeah.
we're just different assumption. I don't think.
Yeah,
he's
it just
folding.
sort of depends. But
Yeah,
getting
I
check
mean-
raise sucks in general because people under bluff has
But I
ace.
agree. There's just only one combo he's worried about, or two.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like not that concerning, I suppose.
Yeah, the major point I'm trying to get at is I think aces bets a pretty high frequency on the turn.
Aces just doesn't block king queen, king jack, king 10. Like you just find a way to go all in.
King
Most
Jack
of the
is
time.
bad for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Like there's just enough value that does call.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
sure you value on yourself sometimes, but that's kind of part of the game.
Right.
Like I would be a lot more confident in tripling aces there than tripling a king queen suited,
Oh, well,
right? Or like an ace king.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you want to bet
you
aces
wanna
more than ace
unblock
king
the
because you
king.
don't.
Of course,
yeah.
you want to block the king. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So aces is just kind of that hand that fits into the 3E, 2E jam situation on a good board. Where like ace king, you can probably start checking sometimes. Because you're gonna get stacked by kings anyways.
We've gone into the deep end. We've
No, I
allowed
mean,
the child of the sim.
he's not wrong. I
No,
just
of course
think
he's
that,
not
like,
wrong.
Yeah, like I think Garrett would probably agree, and he's just like, well,
Yeah, I'm
just gonna
not like
check
trying
this
to.
time.
I'm
Yeah.
not trying to troll or anything.
Yeah, no, Garrett would probably be like, well,
I'm
check
more
this
so
time.
shining a light to the fact that like Ethan was in a tough spot and got super lucky to not get stacked.
Yeah.
Like that's part of the
So
reason
you
why.
should sit again and see if Garrett plays better next time.
Man.
Maybe Garrett just fully.
I mean, he
stacks.
did replenish the roll.
Live ranges, so they funnel so tight too, though. In that spot, like Ethan might only have king jack plus though, which is a concern.
That's
No
probably
way.
why Garrett checked.
Obviously, his ace king.
Now, but maybe Garrett thinks that he just won't stack ace king. Like he'll just fold.
He also has 2 aces in his hand.
Yeah, I understand, but like he also isn't 3-bet folding king queen suited. Like there's definitely whatever. Like we don't need to go so deep
every
into
time
the
I get
strategy.
I get fucking burned at the stake for like value betting too thin or bluffing.
I
with
mean,
hands that
don't get
shouldn't
me wrong.
bluff.
Like I've gone for 3 in this spot way too many times, and way too many times I've just been shown a set where I'm getting trapped.
Yeah.
But at the same token, it's just like it's way different.
Versus the chess master.
Like
The
that hand you
monster,
played,
the chess
like that hand you
monster.
played against Eric. Like when you tripled aces, like I
That's
thought
what
that
I
was
just
fine.
said,
And you're like,
the
I think
chess
that's a
monster.
mistake.
I
Yeah,
do
no,
because I think that like the board texture had changed in such a way where it's just going to fill up a lot of his range. Like
There's
We'll
this
talk about it
10,
next
7, 7.
like it's way
Probably-
different when he doesn't have a secondary hand in a ton of combos that's relevant. Like in this particular instance, ace king is a big relevant hand that you know you can target because it exists in Rampage's range.
Maybe-
We don't know how often he's 5-betting kings, but it's probably greater than 0.
Yeah.
So like kings is just less than.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Eric. It's like I don't know how often he even has kings because he's probably 5-betting them with a player behind at a relative frequency.
Well, we don't have the Eric hand, but we'll bring it up next time so that we can
Yeah,
You
the
guys
whole
can
point I'm
do
getting
this
at is,
for hours, so maybe we
yeah.
table it. I've heard it. Heard you guys go on for hours.
Well, this is a quick insight into the S4Y behind the scenes chats.
Yeah. Anyway, wrapping up the Rampage portion, I think that, you know, what he's doing is probably good for poker as a whole. It's almost certainly unique to the content space. I don't know any other vloggers that are playing 100K binds.
For sure.
Prior to this, I would say Owen probably played the biggest at like
2040.
10-20.
It was like 2040 max.
Yeah. So, like, you know, he is setting himself apart in that regard. He's using his lifestyle channel to also talk about this. So, like, the video, the reaction video that he had to the session wasn't on his poker page. It's instead on his lifestyle one, which will definitely grow that. And yeah, I mean, like, you know, I think it's very reasonable to promote risk to young people, especially when they have replenishing income in the 6-figure range. Like, have a one-off where you're the star of the show and pray to God that you run good or win a tournament shortly thereafter.
Prayer.
Prayer is
And poker.
that's the actual key.
Yeah.
Major
Well,
key.
manifest,
Yeah.
Melissa, you know.
Conrad knows all about the manifest.
It's
What do you do, Conrad, to manifest your, like, what did you do for the bounty?
I can't share this
Oh,
information
okay.
with you guys.
Blood sacrifices.
yeah, blood
Can't
sacrifice.
share it.
That's who
Yellow
actually did that
jackets.
to that bird carcass outside.
It's
It's Conrad.
Chased it down.
Newt just comes in with a remaining leg.
He burned
and
it
that's
outside.
Oh no.
Speaking of degenning, I myself fired off a large chunk into a JPEG a few months ago. So back in October, I bought myself a mutant ape, and I made a bit of an error. If I'm looking at things in hindsight, I bought one of the mid-tier apes, mutant apes. So I think I paid like 9 ETH for this. And what I'm learning the more I get into NFTs is that there is absolutely just no volume traded outside of the floor and the peak.
Very
the floor and the
illiquid.
ceiling. Yeah. People want to buy the most expensive, the most rare, and they want to sweep the floor whenever they think the prices are low and they can get a bargain. But nobody gives a shit about that middle 33 to 66% of rare. Like, we have a pretty rare mutant here. It's got a lot of rare traits. And it's skyrocketed in value. The floor for it now is 35, which is what we have it listed at. But a lot of that is also due to the current churn, I guess, in the ape market overall, as there was a big launch today. ApeCoin has officially hit the market. It opened on all major platforms, Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken, etc., at $5 per coin. It peaked at like 14. And I think it's currently settling around 750. Why is this relevant to me owning a mutant? Well, let me tell you. It's a little added bonus. If you own a Bored Ape, you got blasted with ape coins today. I think they got somewhere in the neighborhood of 10,000 ape coins.
That's right.
Ape coins. I'm not sure if you have that chart available or not, Andre. But for the Bored Apes, so yeah, we'll see here in this graph. The Bored Apes got somewhere in the neighborhood of, this is the right one. Sorry, you have to scroll down further.
I have it right here.
My bad. Well, you having it does us no good, Conrad. Got to tell you. Anyway, I'll read while he gets to the charts. So you get roughly 10,000 ape coins if you own a Bored Ape only. If you own a mutant ape only, you get around 2,000. But if you own combinations of the Bored Ape and Kennel Club, Bored Ape and Mutant Ape, or Mutant Ape and Kennel Club, you get additional bonuses. So at the peak today, we were looking at a 6-figure airdrop for owning a Bored Ape. And for us, we were somewhere in the neighborhood of like 30,000 for the 2,000 coins that we were dropped. So kind of a big deal. It looks like there's a ton of volume being traded right now on this coin. It looks like there's a lot of hype around Bored Apes and Mutant Apes currently. I think that there's plans.
$2 billion market cap.
That's significant.
It's sitting at like 870 also.
Oh, it went up?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. So we're making money while we're doing the pod. I like that. Do you know anything, Melissa, about the functionality of the coin? I thought I read something about the NFT being able to do.
I think it's there's going to be merch, ability. There's going to be it's all whispers, I think, but talks about land in a metaverse, you know, all the typical
Classic.
gimmicks for coins to keep them from going to zero. Well, who knows what'll actually come of it, but clearly there's enough hype behind it that they can probably do a lot. So
yeah, I mean, it's kind of nice for us that are holding the NFT because it gives us a hedge opportunity, right? So I can either like pay some attention to this coin market and recoup a lot of what I spent on the JPEG that way, or I can sell high now on the JPEG since it's, I mean, I bought it for 9 ETH. I think we have it listed at like 35 right now. So it's nearly 4x'd in value, and then still have exposure to the ape market through the ape coin.
I mean, the nice thing is you won't see the liquidity issues that you're seeing with your mutant.
Yeah, and that seems to be pretty common with NFTs as a whole, which big picture, I don't know what the solution is for that, right? Like, you definitely don't want markets that only trade on the floor and the ceiling, since the vast majority
They have some fractionalizing pools and stuff like that. I know, but yeah, there's a lot.
That seemed to lose popularity pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It seemed to be a thing for punks and then just kind of went away.
Right.
Maybe ETH Rock a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I don't hear a ton about that. I'm not super sharp when it comes to NFTs, obviously. I know you're doing a lot more in that space than I am, but
I'm kind of out of the game right now.
Well, everything plummeted.
Everyone knows like, oh, JPEGs are going for this much money. That's a bubble.
Yeah.
So
I don't necessarily know that it has to be though. I think it's going to be the same thing with cryptocurrencies where it just comes down to proof of concept.
Yeah.
Like if we can find some functionality and there has been some like play to earn stuff that's been popping off. I think all of that has some relative future. What we do know is that like blockchain technology is absolutely going to revolutionize the way that we do business.
I can't believe where it is now from when I first heard about it in high school. Like I thought it was, anyone who talked to me about it, which was mostly just the guy I was dating at the time who was mining Bitcoin on his computer in high school. Like I thought he was insane and I just didn't understand it really. Yeah. And then I didn't really start actually taking it seriously until way later, like when I kind of got in around the top. So, you know, that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I compare this space a little bit to like the internet. So, you know, Lamanna and I are old enough to know what it was like to live pre-internet and then have that new technology kind of develop.
We were learning about the internet in high school, not blockchain technology.
Yeah.
We're gonna become the boomers.
Everybody becomes the boomers.
Everyone
I
know.
If they're lucky.
That's how
like
it
we're
works.
talking about like not understanding blockchain, but then like in 15 years, like kids that are like my age now are gonna be like, "What do you mean? It's so simple."
Yeah, they're gonna be like,
they already are like that.
What do you mean you went outside and played? We have the metaverse.
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, there's bombs going off outside.
Right.
You know, it's
we're
a
just
complete
living in an
dystopia.
apocalyptic wasteland.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Have you ever seen or heard of the book/movie called Ready Player One?
Yeah.
That's
Good
like
movie.
it'd be like that. We're like,
I hope not. God, what a dystopian land that
Yeah.
they painted there. It's
Yeah.
pretty awful.
Good movie though. Good book.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for today's show. I hope you guys enjoyed the variety of topics that we covered. We will be back tomorrow for our final show of the week. Not really sure what we're going to get into, but it's Friday, so, you know, we're going to do a little Feel Good Friday. We might get Conrad a little bit drunker tomorrow than we did today. St. Patty's Day, you know, he's calm. He's nice.
I'm chilling.
He's nice right now, but
He's sweating a coin. That's why I can tell. He's got that look on his face.
No.
yeah, he has like 10%
He's
of 10%
sweating
of
something.
10%
Yes.
of
That's
a
why
coin.
he's so quiet.
Busy over investing by a lot.
I'm watching March Madness over here.
Yeah, he's
you
trying
go.
to see if his
Sweating.
net worth is going to double in the next 15 minutes.
Hello.
All right, that's going to wrap it for us. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We will be back mañana.
What?
It's tomorrow.
That means tomorrow.
I know what it means.
Are you sure?
You just said it funny.
Mañana.
Man.
Mañana.
Hasta luego.
We'll be back.
Mañana.